Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious. Wally is happy when Moors are happy. Vixens wink fake lashes trying to trap me. 40 days and nights battling the lower demons. This is not their land, hybrids can't be freemen. If this is not their land, who's the immigrant thinking they're sovereign? Imagination figment, recessive is their status, lacking pigment. Game for the Thanksgiving, but no commitment to indigenous Moors they conquered with Bibles. Signs in the vitals and signs in the cycles, only to strangle, embracing my rivals. Free national standards, not playing with the tribals. Each Moor is their own Christ, not disciples. Whether hands or thoughts, no worshiping idols. Always carry my Moorish Quran, no recitals. Everyone will not process ancients' arrivals. Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
An atheistic ability to show and prove a lesson, coupled with the agility to move you with the message, presence of divine mind to navigate you with a reference, urgent with a purpose, perfect. Emergent urban legends, real Moors, not a question or a choice or a preference. You are who you are, you should have the same obsession. Broke the same jewels to a dude, the corner, Jane and Western. What you reppin', all that effort, that direction, keep you separate in a world of blind sheep. I was born to be a shepherd, mind like an elephant. Got the paws of a leopard, means I'm wise and I'm strong. Crank you up like I'm a record, take you to the body shop, correct your lines to true vector manifestations. Matter, energy, and mind, spirit men unsung. Trey Young dropping dimes until you tighten up, you catching splinters from the pine. Clean the clouds out your thoughts, that's what keep you in the bind.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
You see what I'm saying? You wearing an $80,000 chain. It's real thugs in the hood. They get you for that. Easy. And back in the day, the thugs would rob you and be in the club with you like, what up, son? They wouldn't even run. You see what I'm saying? Try getting this back, son. Yo, how does it look on me, son? Because real gangsters do real things. So for all you young MCs out there, understand the words come out your mouth are vessels of thought, and they have magnetic power to them. So if every single word that comes out of your mouth is, I'm a gangster, I'm a thug, come test me, 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 and you drawing it back to you, and real gangsters will come test you. And you don't want that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of what comes out of your mouth.
Yo, Midnight. Yo, we got him, yo. We got him, yo. Yo, we got him. Yeah, man. Just pull the rope on the guillotine, Midnight. Oh, man. Let's take it right now, man.
So the darkness went
do it up right now.
Yo, we still here.
Council with etheric elders in the waters of Nun. Reclined on the sun with my foot on the moon. Watching goddess on earth act like witches on brooms. Sipping milk and the honeydew and triple black boom. Touchdown, not subordinate but God sent. I'm the red and blue of Superman and Clark Kent. From beyond the sun to earth, Moabite marksman. Tongue double-edged scimitar, stay sharpened. Flag in the earth first, set up the post. Sea is the land, now the flag's in the boat. Back on the land, follow tears, the trail never ends. I'll be on inquisitionists, murdered my friends. Stole our culture, sell it to us as trends. Negro, blacks and colors, stay out the culture blend. Touch your hair, tell you the style they liking. But jack your energy, hair on their neck back spiking. Off the heat of the devil, walking rebel. Why run when police come? Swinging his billy club, drunk off Seagrams. Invisible candle magic, suspect they see none. Pull torts, have them arrested for treason and under. I want bond numbers, put a lien on a straw man that's breaching his oath. Call Orishas, tell all the coon go for his throat. Pickaxe, a cow tongue on parchment paper. Sprinkle clothes, put a hex on the MC, drought your flows. Take the water from your floor like doctors draining knees. Cause you use ankle weights, bones soft like cheese. Fart stink niggas eating things that's deceased. More rotten than the plan, the clan's plotting on me. Why? Knowledge as a money has me a millionaire. Giving knowledge away like I don't care. Christians tell me find Jesus before judgment comes. He's on the corner selling crack and killing his sons. Zombie brainwashed blacks are still blaming the guns. Point out Catholic priests, man, I'm blaming the nuns. Who killed Tate and Toba Chung? I'm blaming the streets. Who killed Prophet Drew Ali? I'm blaming a breach. Same for General Khalid and El Hajj Malik. Or killed cause nationality was in their speech. Things to make you go and thought to art. Happy-go-lucky rappers, 4+ naught. In infinite debts, might as well hold your breath. And let's see how far this rabbit hole goes to the left. I broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, El Immaculate without the manger. Alpha Hexin, Rap Boule strangers. Broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, El Immaculate without the manger. Alpha Hexin, Rap Boule strangers. With cell phones, big brother is closer than steps. Most flush less, but inhale chem streams from jets. Even this god used to binge drink. Schlitz, not Becks, never braids, but waves and cameos without the step. No die, never had slits in the brows of the eye. I got conscious, no arrogance or acting obnoxious. 144,000, I'm saying less than that. With all these zombies with big ass shades and big ass hats, dressing like Lil Wayne, man, just baggy as slacks. Finger a dyke in the shotgun, then crabby a gats. She goes down for prostitution and finding grand. You for possession and for not washing your hands. It's still love, truth, peace, but put down the peace. Wow, we don't need them when we got justice and freedom. Your mind's a mess, trust me, I think you're possessed. Let me unhex you with a mudra of Baphomet, and that won't work unless you know being supreme. No chest has the Solomon crest, always front and warm in the Averex. My lowest form of thought is your apex. Iron Sheik X from the Mosque of Malcolm. Devils see me and get white without the powder talcum. Raise my sword, keep swinging, no meaning. Flow deep, call me Aquamarine Men, raising the lost city of Atlantis. When I speak as pictures, I'm painting on your mental canvas. I broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, El Immaculate without the manger. Alpha Hexin, Rap Boule strangers. Broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, El Immaculate without the manger. Alpha Hexin, Rap Boule strangers.
Starfleet vessel Enterprise. Please do us the honor of visiting our vessel.
I love my people, but hate how they act. black, saying they love their history, but they're calling it black. Won't overstand that, the law won't back your claim as African. With a name like Jack, to them, you're either dumb or your brain's numb. White trash are the niggas, so you're just a bum. Stateless and frontin' with your faking nation. NAACP founded by Jews of Satan. He who has no J, Harlem Jews were Moors. And all the knowledge he uses against you is yours. From the dollar pyramid to the compass and squares. Popes using more heads, but you saying it's theirs. Begging for reparations with crocodile tears. Calling yourself black, become property of theirs. Clear the ignorance, get your mind better. Like Master Adam Moore's humbled Sarnetta. New member of humanity, they are clever. Got God stuck in earth using Gucci sweaters. Got goddess getting nails done and doing slave runs with 2 ears pierced, but won't call him your gay son. Dying for lack of knowledge, only that would save them. Not rapping blood clot dummies played on the stations. They need to wake up and stop acting pagan. They need to get their thinking adept and not layman. Don't think it's hate, it's tough love. Don't think it's peace with a white dove. Don't think it's truth, then show me the lie. I won't hold my breath waiting, cause I might die. Don't think it's hate, it's tough love. Don't think it's peace with a white dove. Don't think it's truth, then show me the lie. I won't hold my breath waiting, cause I might die. I love my people, but hate their ways. Always doing time as if crime pays. Crime pays them who are not your friends, but they're making conversations, taking you to the pen where they started human cattle. They call shadow. Don't know law, you're fighting a losing battle. Then you're gonna say you didn't know when you lose. The judge will say ignorance of law is no excuse. I'm going to black knowledge bookstores to find all types of titles, but none for law. Every book verifies their slave status and fraud. Misrepresentation, cause you're actually Moors. North America is Northwest Africa, I met some before recording tracks. When I'm spelling, I hex them. Natural like being, or blinking, or being your true God self, not running or fleeing, not thinking inferior, superior like the lake. Moorish America's frontin' black, I burn at the stake. African slaves have no constitution, so no state. Just ask and check the Dred Scott case. Don't think it's hate, it's tough love. Don't think and get Biggie clubbed by the club of Rome. Don't think you have to go back home. You are the builders of Olmec, heads of stone. Don't think it's hate, it's tough love. Don't think and get Biggie clubbed by the club of Rome. Don't have to go back home. You are the builders of Olmec, heads of stone. This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again.
This is what it feels like. This is what what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get peggedly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take more science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Bro, y'all back again with your brother Prince Latif. I got another guest with me. Very good brother. Been gone a long time. We finna delve into a little bit about his situation, how much time he has, who he is, where he's from. We finna let y'all know about the brother. And at the end, he's gonna give y'all some advice, some good game for all the youngsters out there that think they want to be in the streets. We finna give you a reason why not to be. Just pay attention. So good brother, give the audience out there your name or what you want them to know you as.
My name is Dwayne Turner. I don't have no nicknames.
Alhamdulillah. Mr. Turner, for you youngsters out there. Put a Mr. in front of that. Alhamdulillah. So let us know where you're from and where you caught the case that led to your current incarceration.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan, but I caught my case in Muncie, Indiana, Delaware County.
Detroit, stand up. All the Detroit brothers and sisters out there, please pay attention to this brother. Give him a little bit of support. Give him your time real quick. So can you briefly explain what charges led to you being in prison with me?
I was charged with murder, attempted robbery, conspiracy to commit robbery, and criminal confinement.
All those charges, y'all pay attention. Listen to what he said. That's a lot of charges. I hope y'all caught that. Okay, so for those charges that you just mentioned off, how much time did you receive in prison?
They gave me life without parole to 65 years.
And 65 years?
65 years.
Life without parole and 65 years. I hope y'all hearing that. Life without parole and 65 years. An outrageous sentence that no human could possibly do, but yet they still gave it to him. Okay, how long have you been locked up on that sentence, bro?
This is my 32nd year.
32 years. 32 years incarceration. That's almost longer than I've been alive, bro. 32 years. So what year was it when you caught this case?
1994.
So you ain't seen the street since 1994?
I haven't been home since 1994.
1994 and it's 2026. Pay attention. So how old were you when this incident happened and how old are you now, bro?
I was 19, almost 20. I'm almost 50. I'm 52, almost 53 right now.
And you've been in prison this entire time?
I've been in prison, incarcerated this whole time.
Since you was 19 years old and you in your 50s now?
Ain't no question.
Y'all paying attention? I hope y'all is. Now, you were charged with, and I think you said murder, robbery, confinement, conspiracy to commit robbery, such things as that, in that nature. So can you just give a little detail about what the prosecution alleged that you did at your trial?
But they said that I acted in concert with another person, and by me being present, they got me under an accomplice liability statute here in this state.
Accomplice liability. So basically they're saying that because you were present while someone else committed the crime, that y'all was in cahoots together.
Ain't no question.
Okay. See how that work, y'all? Be careful what you around out there, because they definitely boat you up about it. So even though that they know you weren't per se the actual shooter, because they considered you an accomplice, just because you were there, you still got a life sentence.
I did.
Plus 65 years.
Plus 65 years.
So what advice do you have for the youngsters out there that's even thinking about being in the streets, catching bodies, being around people that's catching bodies? What you got to tell them, bro?
It's not worth it, boy. Stay your butt in school. Listen to your parents. Time is so valuable, you know what I mean? You don't want to waste a second of it in these walls behind, having someone else control all your motion and movement, you know what I mean?
Big facts, because at 32 years, you can't never get that back, can you?
You can't never get it gone forever.
I hope y'all paying attention. You youngsters out there, even thinking about catching bodies, sliding, drilling, all that stuff, y'all be out there thinking that's cool. They giving out life plus 65 years for even being around it. I hope y'all take heed. And that's what we're going to leave y'all with today. Powerful message from our good brother, Mr. Turner. Remember that. Y'all be easy out there, be well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi here with the cat too. Good brother.
What the f*** is up with these black people on Instagram walking around talking about they was a slave? Never thought for one f***ing second there was no walls. They weren't in prison. People had whips, dog. And they stayed put for that shit. I'm white as ain't a white transgender on this ain't ever gonna make me stay put, bitch. Off with my head. And my sisters, and my brothers, and my moms too. You will not bring my lineage into this world as slaves, you cunt. Bye.
I mean, she didn't say nothing wrong. All of them damn slaves on the plantation, and none of them thought to, hey, we should go jump massa and get the fuck out of here. They chose to be slaves, if you think about it.
There is a documentary I watched some time ago. I forget the name of the documentary now, but on the face of the documentary is the face of Patrice Lumumba. This documentary talks about how Louis Armstrong was actually used by the CIA, sent to Africa on a tour in Africa. And they thought they on this tour in Africa as a cultural exchange and to do music, etc. It turns out that the CIA was actually using them to surveil the country, to gain access to the leaders of those countries. Because when a star that big arrives in that country, guess what? The leaders of the country will want to meet with them. And he then later found out that this is what the CIA was actually doing. It's horrifying stuff. That's why, as much as I love what I Show Speed was doing in Africa, there is a part of my conspiratorial brain that looks at this and goes, So this kid came to Africa, went to all of these countries, and was carrying this like Starlink satellite device that he says Elon Musk gave him, which Starlink satellite device is not yet available for public consumption, so he can have fast internet to stream. I'm not making a statement. I'm just saying, There is a documentary I watched some time ago. I forget the name of the documentary now, but on the face of the documentary is the face of Patrice Lumumba. This documentary talks about how Louis Armstrong was actually used by the CIA, sent to Africa on a tour in Africa. And they thought they on this tour in Africa as a cultural exchange and to do music, etc. It turns out that the CIA was actually using them to surveil the country, to gain access to the leaders of those countries. Because when a star that big arrives in that country, guess what? The leaders of the country will want to meet with them. And he then later found out that this is what the CIA was actually doing. It's horrifying stuff. That's why, as much as I love what I Show Speed was doing in Africa, there is a part of my conspiratorial brain that looks at this and goes, So this kid came to Africa, went to all of these countries, and was carrying this like Starlink satellite device that he says Elon Musk gave him, which Starlink satellite device is not yet available for public consumption, so he can have fast internet to stream.
Islam Moors, honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Welcome. Canaanland Moors. Q&A Wednesday. Do your favor. Answer your questions. Moore also emailed this article. I'm gonna go check this quick.
how New Jersey City became a place of rebirth for black Muslims. Hanan Adley. Very interesting. It is August 18th, 2026. Very interesting. In 1913, Timothy Drew, who we know as Prophet Noble Drew Ali, 1913, we know that he didn't have the Prophet Drew Ali yet. He was Professor Drew. Already went and did his studying, and now he's back here. Canaanite Temple, Newark. It evolved into the Moor Science Temple of America, considered the first institutional movement linking African American identity and the struggle for freedom with Islamic traditions. This is Hannah. This is Hannah doing her own research. You're mad. Go there she is right there, northjersey.com. We'll ask her where she found that. That the Moor Science Temple of America, founded by Noble Drew Ali, is considered the first. The first. No one else was doing it before Noble Drew Ali, is the point we're making all the time. All the time. This is the point. Don't tell me about any other school of thought. If you're not going to bring up Noble Drew Ali, who's the first? All you Islamic whoever's that have that rich tone and talk about African descendants and Pan-Africans and whatever else. Because remember, all the slaves and all them were Muslim too. They were doing salat and all that stuff. So stop the BS. The whole theme is Islamic. Where's that from? Everybody knows that's from the Moors. As soon as you start talking Islamic, oh yeah, that's Moorish. Immediately. Because no one was pushing it as the Moors were. To the point where the historians say that these wars were Islamic versus Christian and all that. All Moorish. Of course, your sellout leaders are gonna, play whatever game they're gonna play with you. As the movement's leader, Drew Ali preached that so-called blacks were of Moorish descent and should embrace Islamism to gain independence and escape racial oppression, which he was living proof. He went to the South, nobody lynched him. Why not? He looks like everybody else down there who's getting lynched. Why didn't they lynch him? Well, because he escaped racial oppression. Because he embraced Islamism and was of Moorish descent. He wasn't Negro, black, colored. He wasn't Drew. He was Ali. If he was Drew, they would have lynched him. Historian Michael Nash, a professor at Essex County College, described the Moorish movement as a starting point for a broader Black Muslim revival that would expand across the country. So Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish movement is the starting point for what is now known as the Black Muslim whatever. Why are they Moorish Muslims? Because if Noble Drew Ali is the first, and then he's the starting point for all the Black Muslim whatevers, then that would obviously mean that the Black Muslim whoever's were part of the Islamic stuff going on before them saying they're Black Muslims. And keep in mind her timeline. She said 1913, right? We haven't talking about 1930 yet when the Black Muslims and all them are talking. We're not even talking about them yet. Talking about the other Negro, Black, whatever, Muslim, whoever's, the other ones. Because these people were in existence that you see today calling themselves Black Muslims. They were in existence in 1913, guaranteed. New Jersey is a pivotal place for the rise of Islam, said Nash. Not just pivotal for the relationship between Islam and so-called blacks, but maybe Islam in the whole of the country. And it just happens that the influence came through Moors. Because if they're talking about 1913, there are no African Americans either. There ain't no Jesse Jackson in 1913. So there was no influence to no African American nobodies. Didn't even exist. The Moor Science Temple of America moved its headquarters to Chicago in 1925, but the teachings of the organization founded in Newark laid groundwork for the rise of the Nation of Islam in the mid-20th century across the nation. The Moor Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, and the Adeyunu Allah Universal Arabic Association, which adhered to traditional Islam, drew many black converts in the Newark area, Nash said. And then when they got in there, they're supposed to give up the slave stuff and all that and embrace their nationality, and that's what's supposed to be going on. Right? That is where it was supposed to be going. How they do all that and then still come back to being called black today? How are you still black? Stuff's not making sense. You can't be black still. They put a lot of emphasis on business development among Moors. There were no African Americans in the 1900s until Jesse Jackson. And he's transitioned, so there ain't no African Americans now either. They had their own news organizations, a Moorish newspaper, and some of the organizations invested in land. Then it skips about 20 years, and then it starts talking about the 50s and all that stuff, and we didn't care about none of that. So know that everybody who does their research, right, sincerely, they get to the same realization that the Moor's been telling people forever. They get there. Right. They'll get there. They'll get there. Let's see the email. Let's see what we have here. Peace. There was an interview with Phase One, and he claimed he's an angel when asked who he was. Are Nuwapians angels? Well, like when you say angels, like what, where you going really? You know, because we could follow up with, what do you mean, angel dust? Like what angel are you talking about? Angel investor? Oh, you're talking about the religious stuff and all that? Oh, you mean the people who are filming themselves, give people finance and all that stuff? They're part of the whatever committee. Here's 9 million. Those angels, what angels are they? Because when you go check, this is why man knows not by being told. When you go check, Nuwapians have a constitution that says Nuwapian nation of Moors on it. We talk about no nation of angels. Never have I seen that. Never. And if you really want to F them up when they start their BS and all that stuff, keep in mind, L is on angel. So he's really saying he's Moors, but they don't want to say they're Moors, because if they say that they're Moors, so then they make up stuff. Oh yeah, I'm Sharif Elohim. Why you just say L? Oh, because you say L, then that ties to the Moors, and if it ties to the Moors, then these people become unimportant. They become extremely unimportant. I don't care what school of thought it is. They're Moors. That's their nationality. They're of Moorish descent. I don't care what their school of thought is, what their religion is. They're of Moorish descent. They got dark skin and all that. Nigger naps and strong noses and all that. All right. They're Moors. Nuwapians, they're Moors. Their founder, Malachi Zadok El, you say Malachi York, he's L. That's Moorish. That's not Sabian. That's Moorish. So anybody who says they rep for that founder, they should probably have L or maybe Bay or something like that too. You know? Why not? Why is the founder L and then they're Phase One? No nationality? Even though they were taught nationality? It's not they weren't taught nationality. Nuwapians have the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America in their holy book, the Holy Tablets. It's in there. Picture of Noble Drew Ali in there. And on top of it being in the holy tablets, they also have their own holy Quran, the Nuwapian Quran. Dr. York with his picture in there with the fez on and all that. But they're not gonna go there. They're gonna play angel games. Because people are here to play games. That's why you gotta do your due diligence. Trust no one. Fact check everybody. Fact check them all. Because as soon as you don't check, that's when you're about to get played. As soon as you decide not to check, do not fall for it. Don't be the dummy that gets played. Because it is a popularity contest right now. They have no work. Nothing to show. Peace, Moor. How do I explain my new identity to family? How do you explain the new identity to family? The first part is, if they're family, they're some servants. And servants don't listen to anything but massa. So if we're talking about family, you're talking about domestics, talking about wards. Now I get what you're talking about, mom, dad, whoever, right? But that's just for you just have to be yourself. If you know what this is, and you really trust in your identity, you're going to be that. In being that, these relatives are going to, if they're serious, they're going to challenge you to see how real it is. Right? They're going to challenge you to see how real it is. And they have to have the know-how to go do research and all that, so they don't get played. They should know how to do that. To at least you tell them something, they know how to go do research. You're not there to explain anything to them unless they're asking. Unless they're asking, you're not explaining anything. You're being yourself. If being yourself deserves an explanation because a question's asked, then of course explain. And explain it to the best of your knowledge, and don't be afraid to say, "Oh no, I don't know. I don't know about that question," or I can't answer that, or you're not know-it-all or something like that. There's stuff you don't know. So it's cool to be a Moor and not know, because it gives you some inspiration, some motivation to go know something. Having the mind open to always be wanting to receive, always wanting to learn more, especially about self. So you be yourself, and only when they want to know, And then, of course, you're going to get the ones who want to know to try to prove you wrong and whatever, right? Don't lose yourself trying to prove some point. You know what I mean? You know, people could be trying to bait you, or people could actually be not serious about their learning. So all they know is what they were told. Never did any research, never read a book, but they're the scholar. You know, so certain people, you don't even want to. You're not even wasting your time. You know, they're gonna be who they are. So let them, and then don't be offended. You know, don't be offended, because everybody has their time for this to hit them. You know, for them for it to really register what it means to say that we're Moors, we're not Negro, Black, or colored. You know, it doesn't hit our people right away, as it hit us, the ones who are in the know, the ones who've been studying this. You know, this hit us, and we haven't turned back since. All we know is what we study and research and all that. That's all we know. That's all we could work with. And then the mastery is figuring it out. Right. And this is just the other day. We've been in this since 08. We've been in this since 08. And there was a bunch of different family that got put on game. You know, this is what it is. Bunch of different family. House of servants, because they're in the mindset of Negro, Black, colored, slave, or whatever. It was easy. It was easy because of the different ways Moors connects to our lineage on the mother's side and on my father's side. Right? There's things that were Moorish that were in our face all our life. Had no clue that's what was being said. Had absolutely no clue. And it was only until getting into this information that things start registering. Because we always had it was always there in our face, but I didn't even know what the hell you're looking at. Didn't know anything about what we're looking at. Fast forward to 2026. And then it's still the faithful few that know, and they're being it. And then everybody else is, you know, they're not against it. They're not hating. We're not Moors and all that. They're not, you know. But this isn't for everybody. And that's really how you know that you're called. When we say that we're Moors, you're called. Everybody's not called. As far as this life, this existence, everyone's not called. Right. You know, you're special. You're not special ed. You're special. Something different about you. And everybody knows. It's not, you know, everybody knows. A lot don't want to accept it. Because again, you know, once you accept the Moorish, everything else becomes unimportant. The things that you thought meant something. And a lot of people can't let go of certain things. So you know, they're stuck. You know, in order to get over the hump to embrace the Moorish so that it could be figured out. You know, people run from knowing the truth. But the truth is stern. A lot of people can't handle it. And the fact that we're Moors is the truth. You know, the fact that everybody's been lied to. Playing these, calling yourself everything except a nationality. When people know, because they got to name everybody else off by their nation. You know? So you just be yourself. You don't have to try to force or explain or anything like that. Those who really want to know, they're gonna hit you up to know. They're, you know, that's your aunt, cousin, uncle. Like, they know how to reach you if they want to know something. Don't play like they can't get your number or something like that. You know, but this isn't for everybody. As far as in this existence, it belongs to everyone, but everyone's not going to claim it. It is said during the Moorish world domination, there was no Europe, England, France, Greece, Rome, Egypt, Africa, China, Japan, or Russia across the Atlantic. So what's the true name of those contrary? Amexum. Because there was no continents and countries like that. We had empire. And the empire was Moroccan. And even crossed Atlantis. Oh, they don't want to go with that? Fine, it was Asia. And we're Asiatics. And you see a brother over there, he's Asiatic. And sister over there, she's Asiatic. There ain't no territories because there's no borders. So there's no territories like that. But the true name, just like with our people, you know, you're gonna go back and you're gonna find so many names for places. Everybody's gonna tell you they know a name older than that one. But the key that it was Moorish world domination. Everybody knows the rule was the Moors. So if we go with Druali, true and divine name, the Maxim. We already know Atlantis. We already know Mu. We already know Lemuria. We already know Asia. Mm-hmm. Those true names are whatever they are. Yeah, I'm sure there's maps out there showing that. back in this email. What are my obligations? Peace. What are my obligations to the Canadian government? Well, like the U.S. that they say is a government, Canada's not a government. It's a crown colony. It's a crown colony. So it has a governor general. So it's a colony. So the obligation that you have is anytime you're dealing with them, make sure you reserve your rights with those people. Because they're not who you think that they are. So whatever it is that you're dealing with them, make sure you're reserving your rights when you're dealing with them. Because whoever you think they are, they're not that. They've been running game on you. 200 years they're playing you, being something that they're not. And of course, out of ignorance, we let them keep carrying on the BS. Right? The obligation you have is to your nation. Not some foreigners. Foreigners have obligations to you, but you have obligations to them. They're foreigner. And because they're a foreigner, there's certain etiquette. And they're not, displaying any of that. But then why would they, if we're playing Negro black color games, why would they feel they have to? They ain't got anything to prove. We're the ones that are off. We're the ones. When we talk about the Aboriginal and Indigenous suffrage that's happened by the hands of these modern European foreigners, admittedly too, and then people still call them government and all that, then you know that they have the people. They have them in such a frozen state that the wrong is happening to the people. The wrong is happening to the people. And the people are still going, voting, doing all the things doing all those things that keep the thing going, that is causing the destruction. So just remember, you're the indigenous, they're the foreigner. Always remember that. As soon as you start playing around with U.S. and Canada government and all that stuff, always remember, they're a foreigner. They're not the indigenous. People were here when they got here. And it's a hard pill to swallow, because then that means you have to get rid of the slave myth. And you have to be a master now. You can't claim slave anymore. And it's a lot for our people to to govern themselves. Think they need government. When government is govern yourself, not some people out there doing what you think government's supposed to be doing. That always make that's it. The people are the government when they talk like that. So the people are the government. Who are these other people that are claiming titles and all that stuff? Titles of nobility that they're not supposed to be claiming under a fraud. But then when you say your title of nobility, oh no, we can't do that. You know, all of a sudden they don't want to go there. But a man could be a woman and go in girls' washrooms. But you know, you gotta stay Negro black colored. You can't be a Moor. You can't have a nationality. The Canadian government doesn't accept that identification because the Canadian government has done the research and they know that it's an organized pseudo-legal scheme that is being run by black people who think that they're above the government. And hey, you know, the Governor General is a de facto head of state. You know that. You know that's on the government website. On the government website, it says the Governor General is Canada's de facto head of state. So if the head of state is de facto, then what do we? So that means there's no head of state. And they've been running this game the whole time. The whole time. And then more start talking, and then people, no, why would I reserve my rights? And then they complain when their pension got stolen. Why are you complaining? You can't complain. We told you reserve your rights. We told you that they're a corporation. They're a business. They're not a government. Oh, no. You don't want to hear what the Moors are saying. All right. No problem. Don't then. No problem. It's all good. You're going to learn, though. Might be the hard way. Might be the hard way, but you're going to learn. You're going to learn. And then when you learn, then you're going to, just like all the rest, you'll come running back to apologize and all that and recant this and all this stuff when you should have just stayed put from the jump. You know. Where do we start searching to prove we're indigenous? Noble Drew Ali, ring the alarm. Noble Drew Ali. Because Noble Drew Ali is Cherokee. So if he's Cherokee, and that's an Indian tribe of Native Americans, and they're the first people in the Americas and all that. Then he said, we're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. We're descendants of Moroccans, born in America. We're Moorish Americans. We're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. We're Moorish Americans. Wouldn't that mean that all the other indigenous people are that too? Because remember, he's the first. Nobody was talking like this before him. Keep that in mind. Like we read with Hanan, what Hanan was writing about Drew Ali being the first. All right. So if If Drew Ali's the first, and everybody knows that he's indigenous, and he's telling you that we're Moorish American, then that would mean what? That everybody else is probably indigenous that looks just like him. So our people's issue is that concept of always having to prove that they're something when everybody knows that we're Moors. And then everything that they're trying to prove that they are is really not who they are, but they're still trying to prove this thing that they're not. While everybody else has their nationality and they're going on with their life, living great. Even when they're in the slums. They're happy they're with their family with their 1 bedroom and a mattress. Children run around in their underwear, but they're happy though. Dirt on their face, but they're happy. They're not complaining about rent and taxes and all this. The car's not working, they just walk 20 miles. No big deal for water. While they're walking, they're skipping through the daisies and all that. And then you're here complaining. Everybody's doing what they shall with the nationality. Our people won't want to talk crazy to Moors, trying to put them on game. Even though they have the example of the world around them revolving, to know that, what the Moors are saying is actually right. Like, no Asians call themselves yellow people. Like, they don't do that. No, they don't do that. Very, very wrong. How our people get. Peace. What is the practical difference between the higher self and the lower self? The practical difference. Let's see. This is the practical difference. What is the higher self? This is Noble Drew Ali. The higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life, and breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. What does the lower self breed? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. Is that practical enough? Or do we need to go more neophyte than that? The higher self, this is everything that you're getting if you go the route of the higher self. This is what you get when you're at the crossroads, like the devil, seeing whom you could devour. You're not there for that. You're not there for devouring. You're at the crossroads for some different reason. When you're at the crossroads and the sign pointing to the higher self and the sign pointing to the lower self, and the higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life. Just do your research on virtues and do your recent research on the harmonies of life. And breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. This is what you're guaranteed if you go the way of the higher self. This is what you're guaranteed. Justice, mercy, love, right, virtues, life. That sounds amazing. That sounds like what everybody should be striving for. The lower self is hatred, slander, lewdness, murder. We just talked to the Moor. He wasn't even the trigger man. Life plus 65 years. Life plus 65 years. Just for being there. He wasn't even the guy with the stuff. Theft. You want to keep watching your pockets? You want to be a man that is spending the rest of your life with a wife who every night she's going through your wallet? That's what you want for your life? You want for your life the man who's beating your ass every day? That's what you want for your life? So when you're at those crossroads and it's time to make a decision on which way you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going toward the higher self, or you're going to be going toward the lower self. As far as you're traveling on this plane, you traveling here. Whatever amount of time that you're here for. Higher self or lower self? And again, Drew Ali made it plain and simple, real easy. Small books, words that nothing advanced. It's real simple. And it was like he's talking to Moorish children. Once you know what words mean, you can make sense of what Noble Drew Ali is saying. Always go with the higher self. You cannot go wrong. Can't go wrong. Because whatever you think is wrong, that's just whatever you think is wrong. That's just to try to throw you off. Test your perseverance. See if you're really with this. Oh yeah, if you have questions, make sure you put it in all caps. Make sure you put it in all caps. Any excuses? He didn't answer my question. Well, it wasn't in all caps. So that's why he didn't answer. There's rules. Like we were talking about earlier. There's etiquette. Why is Saudi Arabia looked at as an authority in Sunni Islam? Saudi Arabia was colonized and they support the states, which means they support another country committing genocide. You'd probably have to ask a Sunni about that. I'm not Sunni or Shiite or none of that stuff. Don't want to do with any of that. That's its own realm. Nothing to do with me. My prophet's Ali, not Muhammad. That's my prophet. We honor all true and divine prophets and all that, but my prophet is Drew Ali. So I'm not really into what other people and their prophet are saying. I have to get in touch with mine. I gotta get with mine. I have my prophet to focus on. Time with people in their madness. Was Marcus Garvey a Muslim? When you go check, he's a student of Deuce Muhammad Ali. As a fez wearing Moor. Fez wearing Moor. Regular. Fez wearing Moor. Deuce Muhammad Ali. And I mean, Fez is up. When you go check my book, Nationality is the Order of the Day at Khalifa Media. KhalifaMedia.com. Get my book, Nationality. We talk about Haile Selassie, Marcus Garvey, and the Drew Ali connection. The real Holy Trinity. You can get there's some good info there. Good info. But yeah, Garvey was a Muslim. Just go read the hymns and all that stuff of the UNIA. And why it is talking about Allah, God Allah and all that. UNIA. What do they know about Allah? Oh yeah, because they had Deuce Muhammad Ali and all these people as board members and all that. Marcus Garvey thought Africa for the Africans, right? Africa for the Africans. Now what Drew Ali say? That the true and divine name of Africa is really Amexem. It's really Amexem. So what is commonly known as Africa isn't Africa. That's not Africa. Africa's really over here. Right? This is when Messy Jesse started talking about African Americans, but nobody from Africa is called African American. That should have gave it up. That Africa's over here. He's not talking about over there because people from over there aren't called African American. None of them. Why not? They're more African than anybody. And they're not African American, but we are. Oh, because Africa's over here. Africa is here. That's the play. Just like the play of the societies, that is a secret. And the secret is they're pretending to be Moors. So Africa is really over here. The Moorish elders teach about over here being Amexem and over here being Africa. And from AME, Amexem, and RICA, Africa, you get America. Because Africa and America are really over here. Over there is Al-Kebalan and Asia. Over there is Al-Kebalan. Over there is Asia, South Asia. Over here is Africa. Over here and over there are Amexem. But over there is not Africa, though. Even though over here is Amexem. Over there is not Africa. And the only way over there is Africa is when it's attached to here. Yes, it's a mine. It's a mine F. I know. The F to us crazy, and then we don't even talk about the maps are upside down yet. We're just talking about names. We didn't talk about the size is wrong and stuff is upside down, and we didn't even go there yet. Because the upside down is the east, and then the east is the foundation where everything started at, right? They really messed up crazy, just to cause this confusion in the world. The good, it was a plan. Plan was masterful, but you can't beat Allah playing around. Why do you think you could beat Allah? Whatever they're trying. But they gotta try. Can't knock them for trying. Do you fault Haile Selassie for trying to register Ethiopians as white? No, because they're white. Because white and black are statuses, not skin complexion. So him registering the Ethiopians as white is to get them out of the Ethiopian status. Because that means a demarcation line. That's not a people. Ethiopians come from Ethiops. That's Greek. Everybody knows that's Abyssinia and Kush over there. Ethiopia, nothing. Ethiopia, nothing. That's a demarcation line. It's all about perspective. Once people have the wrong perspective, they're going to be lost. This is why the prophet, Rindi Allah. That's why the prophet came. So he was sent. Sent to the Asiatics of America to learn the truth about their nationality and their birthrights. That they are not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. Because Ethiopians' root word is Ethiop, which is Greek. Can DNA testing prove our sovereignty? If you're not doing the DNA testing, I wouldn't trust DNA testing because that's your DNA. What are they doing when they get that? And let's say it comes back that you are a sovereign, whatever. Let's say you are the sovereign, whatever. Now what? Now what happens? So you got the paper from the DNA people. You are the sovereign of the Moorish nation. All right, great. And now something has to move now. And again, it's not like you can't do it. You know, you can't go. It's not you can't go do all these testings or whatever. You can do them. I mean, it ain't no big deal. You know, I wouldn't put no 800 or 5,000 or anything into it. You know, if they say a 1,500 notes or something like that, you know, sure, go check, see what it comes back. If it comes back, you're part salamander now. You're gonna be a salamander. You know, because you know they sent the roach DNA and then it came back that the roach was Congolese or something. And I don't think the roach was concerned. I think the roach was concerned. A lot of those things are money games. You know, people trying to steal your finance. The whatever is presented to you from whoever you go to for this thing, it's either going to give you more info that you didn't know, or it's going to be verifying what you already know. And you know, life is about learning and experiencing. So you know, don't be afraid to see what's out there. Just make sure as soon as you see 500 and 8,000 and all that stuff that you go in a different direction. Because if we're talking about birthrights and all that stuff and sovereignty and nationality and all that's inalienable. So the ones who are claiming to have that and giving it, they should be giving it for real. It's not supposed to be 5,000 to come to the class to learn about your inalienable rights. Somebody's playing you. You say 10 notes, 20 notes or something, all right, fine. You might have to pay a food vendor or something like that, have some food there or whatever. But when they start talking crazy, for when they say, oh yeah, status correction, 2,000 a month. Status correction? That's supposed to be free. So they're talking about NDAs and don't even go there. They're about to steal all your damn finance. check this email. We out of here. All right. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Give thanks for all your input and your questions. Honors to all the question senders. Keep sending them. You already know. Where we at? 45? Episode 45. We got a few more to go still, so, you know. We good. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Don't forget. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. Because the amazing work that he did for us to be here now, proud to be Moors, he deserves lots of honors. So honors to him and the forerunner Marcus Garvey, stirring up the nation, getting us ready. And we've received our prophet. Honors to all Moors worldwide. Stay true to our nation. Long live the Moorish Empire. Islam to all Moors.